Hey, so it's been a while since we did our last tour, and then we only did our middle flower bed. So today I thought we would do a whole
Are you coming?
I'm coming. 2 seconds. I gotta do the intro. A whole garden tour. We'd show you what we have in containers, what we're doing here in August to keep flowers coming. I promise I'm coming. And then, yeah, all the little things that we're doing to keep our garden looking pretty nice, if I do say so myself, here in August. So please join us on our tour. August.
So here on the terrace closest to the house, we have some different kind of plants, both annuals and perennials mixed. We like to mix things in the pots here because we think it gives a really nice combination. Also with a different leaf color. Here's the Heuchera with the chameleon plant, gets like these really crazy leaves, and it has like this citrusy really strong flavor. A lot of people use it for cooking. We have some Japanese bloodgrass sticking up here. We have some patience. This is Alan's really big favorite.
Impatiens.
Impatiens. Sorry. I always get
No wonder it's my favorite. I'm not very patient.
And we have some, it's always the Danish English. Yeah, and we have some palette leaf here.
The neighbor actually gave us that. We had a neighbor living next door, over the wall, and when they left, this is what she gave us. We had to keep it alive all winter, inside.
Because it is an indoor plant, and in summer you can take it out. You can easily do cuttings out of it. We have way too many, so Alan is just saying, no more cuttings. And we have this really huge rosemary here that we use for really close to the house here, so we can use it for cooking. And it really thrives here in the Danish weather. We don't take it inside. A lot of people that come to the garden ask, oh, do you cover it? Where do you move it to in the winter? But it just sits here. We barely water it. It's just really
we also
nice.
leave it. You'll notice all of our pots are these terracotta unglazed. And if you haven't heard me say it before, Denmark gets a lot of rain. So using this type of pot lets that soil breathe and the plant breathe, and that makes everything happy. Over here we have the lavender, and you know that we cut it hoping for that second flowering, and we barely got it. We just cut it too late after our vacation, so lesson learned. But then our wisteria is growing nicely, and we're using the skeleton, if you can see through here. We had an old grapevine, and it produced these white bitter grapes. And we just decided to cut it, but we needed the structure. So we just chopped it off down here at the bottom. And then we planted 2 wisteria with beautiful purple leaves. It's called a blue rain in Danish. How about that? And then we're letting it sort of use that grapevine as a skeleton. So yeah.
And over here we have some more like different pots. And then we kind of do again Heuchera, and this really nice has really great foliage, but also long stems of flower here, together with some Echinaceas and some Hostas over here. The Hostas are doing the best here in pots. We do have some special snails that really love chewing on these crispy leaves, so we don't have them out in the garden. That's a perennial that stays in pots here with us, but they do get bigger, but you can easily just chop them in half and then place them somewhere else in a different pot. We have some dahlias grown from a bulb and some other like summer flowers, just to give a pop of color. And again, Alan's really favorite here.
Yeah, this blanket flower.
That is really nice.
This eucalyptus, here's a fun story. We bought this where, like at a supermarket or something. I mean, it didn't cost anything, and it was super tiny, and we had it indoors, and it decided to die. So then, before throwing it out, Lars really wanted to toss it, but I said, let's put it in the glass house. We'll just, in the greenhouse, I think it's called in English, we'll just dig it in some dirt, stick it in there. Who cares? If it dies, it dies. It came back to life. Now we planted it out in the garden, and look at it.
Look, it's like taller than me.
Ta-da! That little supermarket eucalyptus just needed somebody to believe in it.
And this really gives a nice height here. We did talk about maybe getting a bigger supporting post here for it, because it is just like a broomstick.
Yeah.
We
When
need
it gets
something
really
else.
windy, it knocked it down a few times this year, but so it is.
And we just cleaned up we try to do it a few times every year, but these paths here really to soften up from the terrace over to the flower bed. So we have this granite, crushed granite in here to kind of, there is coming some weeds, but we try just to take it once a while. So we have the border plants here, and then gradually try to have the perennials and annuals getting taller and taller. So the tallest, of course, are in the back.
Yeah, hiding my little fig tree.
Yeah. It has some figs on it.
Yeah, this year we're going to have 6 figs, which is weird because I'm from South Georgia in the US, and my parents have a fig tree that is just, I mean, you almost have to throw them away. And then here we're begging for 6 little figs. But what else we got, Lars?
Oh, and here, I forgot to say here, like I have in the pots, here's a different variety of the Heuchera, and it does get these really long stem of really pretty strong flowers. They don't fall in the winter. And this one is evergreen. This variety here, it's really a lovely low one. We do have a lot of mixed colors. We also have like a Echinacea over here, white Swan, to give some. We do mix the colors here and plant really close the perennials, so we have something flowering all season. So we don't have big areas of just green plants. We have a different variety of things, and also like summer flowers grown from seeds. The Cosmos is a huge hit here as well. And here's one of Alan's that he really likes, the Toad Lily.
Well, the reason why, let me show, there we go, the Toad Lily. So when we first moved in our last video, I think I got it, yeah. In our last video, we talked about how this whole place was just grass and it was overgrown and whatever whenever we moved in. We went to the planting center, and this was, I got to pick a plant, and you got to pick a plant, and our son got to pick a plant, and this is the one I chose. I chose a bulb with a Toad Lily because why not? Look at it. Isn't that crazy?
It looks fake almost.
So this was my plant. I didn't know that this is kind of all it would do, but every year it's starting to spread. There's one next to it. So every year it keeps coming back and reminding me of, you know, just stick with it, and the garden won't have to be what it was when you moved in.
And see over here, like, I don't know if you already noticed, but we do love dark-leafed perennials. Here's a Sedum. Really, I love the color here. Wow,
That's a pretty one, yeah.
And easy again to do cuttings out of it. We do a lot of that. Too much. Alan is like shaking his head every time we...
Well, you know, that's another thing, Lars, good point. We don't spend, I know we talk about buying the little eucalyptus and buying the Toad Lily, but honestly, I'll give Lars credit for this now. There's a lot of stuff here in this garden that's grown from cuttings. We collect seeds to get more plants. It doesn't have to cost a fortune. We're not a fortune type of people. And so that's really where a lot of this stuff has come from.
And a lot of, like when we went to holiday, actually, a lot of things had finished flowering, had fallen over each other. And then a lot of them we trimmed back, like this salvia here, we trimmed it back just under where the flower had been. And then a lot of perennials do come with a second flowering, which is a great hit. We really like that. The salvia and also the phlox and the geranium over here with these really pretty, that really covers also for weeds. That's a great plant. The geranium really grows wild, but then again, it's like what Alan says, really save money. Like take a cutting, like or dig up a piece. Don't be scared in autumn.
Divide it.
Yeah, just dig it up or divide it, and then you have, ta-da, more free plants.
Another thing that we really try to do a lot of, especially here in August, is we deadhead. Like this blanket flower. I mean, if I say every day, do I sound crazy? But usually every day we're out here deadheading something, and it's not this sort of a weird hours and hours and hours. You take a stroll through the garden, you have your snips, you take something off, right? I saw on a YouTube once, somebody mentioned that if it wasn't pretty enough to sell, then you should cut it. And that's kind of been Yeah, my motto with deadheading. But the more you do it, I mean, even with the Cosmos, with all of these guys, even with this one, the Pink Sunday, and the more you do it, then the more flowers you get. It just doesn't, they don't know when to stop.
Look, look at the blanket flower here. The bee is full of pollen. I know you think I'm crazy. I can stare at a bee for hours. Look at that. He's so busy. He's covered in pollen.
Yeah, hold on. I gotta zoom in without making everybody sick.
See him?
I think so.
Oh, nice. So this is the new established flower bed. Is one of the greatest things we did. Also the hardest this year. We removed all the lawn and we made these great paths with gravel. And this has really come along nicely, really quick. We started in February, March on doing all this.
Taking up the grass, yeah.
And then we just turned the turf there, and a lot of the seeds are like, for example, this one, the Cosmos here, apricot, is sown from seed, as well as this the grass here, red jewel, really beautiful. So a lot of them, come from seeds, and we divide a lot. So, and it's just, it really, I don't know if you can see it, but it really attracts a lot of bees and other insects, and it's just great to walk around and discover it, especially here from the path. You can really see it from different angles. It's really nice. What else do we have? The perennial is really nice too. The perennial sunflower over there.
That's a nice one. Have a couple of butterfly bushes going on.
Also grown from just a little itty bitty cutting we did. Look at that pink color.
Yeah, and you can easily take a cutting from a butterfly bush, stick it in some dirt, and it'll grow. The Liatris are finishing.
Yeah, waiting for that to collect seeds of that one.
Here's another salvie that we cut back, and it's flowering again, next to another type of blanket flower there.
And the salvia here, just to get back to that one, it's just one plant. It's just huge.
Yeah, it's huge.
So we did have to stake it a little bit because after holiday it had kind of, pushed some plants. That's the minus about when you plant really close to each other. So, but then you can quickly move some things away. And and a low. Sorry, this one is a new. It's a boccia, a butterfly bush, but a butterfly candy. It's called, very low variety. So it's ideal here in front of the border, or in a pot. We placed a purple one in a pot as well.
Yeah, that's very pretty. This as well, here's another sedum that's coming in that wasn't here last time.
And see the Californian poppies here. Oh, I love them. They really open up once it's the sun is out and
when
close
it's
at night.
Day like today, whoa.
It's crazy, right?
We have hit the jackpot. Here's another plant that we have been constantly deadheading.
Oh, scabiosa?
Yeah, the scabiosa, and it is still coming with flowers. Lars has told me not to because he wants to collect seed. I was out here just yesterday.
I know, I can see you moved.
I left you some, but
Okay.
I mean, the flowers are really pretty. You'll have plenty to go to seed.
Here's another poppy. See a different color.
That's pretty.
And I just want to show you here's the flower bud. I'll show you here. This is a coming flower, but this is where the seeds are gonna be in.
It's like a green bean, right?
Yeah. So I'm really excited. It's the first year with these. They say, I forgot to trim it back when it's a little smaller plant. You can remove the top and it will get bushier. I definitely want to try it, but actually I don't mind that it falls over. It looks a little bit wild.
I think it's nice. Right here, I wouldn't have gotten it any bushier.
No.
It's not like we are sad for plants.
We have some wallflower here flowering for the second time actually.
Yeah, we had a purple. That smells really good.
Really crazy.
Yeah, we have a purple one up in the beginning of that flower bed too. And then over here is our Salviviritis again, the pink Sunday.
And the Heuchera grown from seeds.
That's a pretty one. Our dahlias that we showed you.
Wow, look how tall.
Another video. Yeah, that's
so you
crazy.
Can see this is it's not your favorite. Look how tall they are. The Cabana banana. It's so pretty. You like which one is it you like?
I like the Bacardi. It's really pretty.
Oh yeah. Was it this one?
Yeah, that's the Bacardi.
This here has a long stem too, right? Great for a vase.
Got some pretty ones.
And the Boom Boom White is
Yeah, that's just a
taller than
crazy
me.
name. That's our son's favorite, just because it's a fun name.
And we have just we put compost in, so you can also, until they start flower, put liquid fertilizer in. But they do really well here in the raised flower bed.
And we had some poppies here just until a few days ago. We talked about the copper tape. It's done really great at keeping the snails away. Yeah, but the longer those poppies were, it was just a ladder. And the slugs and snails were having gym class, climbing up it, and then snacking on the leaves. So goodbye poppies. Let's show the hydrangea that we got for like,
how's it doing?
like $1.
Oh yeah, they're doing over there. They are doing really well.
So
Actually.
these, I don't know if you guys remember, but there's really tiny ones over there. Yeah.
See?
Those we bought at a really end of season sale. We planted them in, they were less than $1 US, it's like 5 Danish kroner. And they're doing really well. So great. None of these hydrangeas are really killing it this year because we trimmed them back last year big time. And there was a shed back there. There was a shed surrounding that whole tree. We've talked about that before. So all of that came down, everything got trampled on and sort of, messed up. Anyway, a lot of trimming, which means you won't have those hydrangea this year because they grow on next year's flowers, grow on this year's growth. So there's that. Next year we'll have a lot more hydrangeas to show.
Oh, and I just want to show you this one here.
Yeah, this is crazy.
It's called a solbrud helenium. You can get it. We have it in different variety, also clear yellow. But wow, it looks like a little dress or something. It's really, and eventually it will get bigger and bigger in width actually. But just also these burnt colors here in late August is really nice.
Speaking of deadheading, I have a little bit to do up here.
Oh.
This one is so pretty. These pin cushions.
They are nice, right?
Every time I see a new one, I think something is my favorite.
See, and I see seeds. You see, like, see here, bloop. Here's like what, 100 in a new one, and they need changing temperatures to grow though. So I put them in January and just in a tray in the greenhouse, and just let nature do it. Then it gets warmer, and then they start to sprout.
Yeah, that way we don't lose freezer space. Taking care of that.
Yeah, you can put it in the freezer too.
The delphiniums are finished. We had those.
Oh, look at this one here. Just talking about different foliage here to the Stairways to Heaven, Jakobstie. I love the different foliage, and also the Brunella here.
Yeah, that's a pretty one.
Jack Frost gets flowers early in spring, like with blue flowers.
What about the sedum up there? That's really pretty next to that.
Oh, this
in
one.
the pot.
Yeah, we placed that also in the pots here together with the one you like.
And the reason, you can see there's a lupina in the other one, but one of the ways that we keep our garden interesting to us is when something finishes in the pot, like the lupina, then we brought in these impatiens, you know, or we move in a sedum when something is finished, and we move the finished thing into the greenhouse so we can keep it for next year. So
This one is also one of my favorites. Violfrøstjerne.
oh yeah, that's really pretty.
Look how elegant, just the foliage and everything. It's so nice.
Yeah, that's very crazy.
Looks like a elegant lady or something. This dark leaf elderflower, black lace, has really done well up here in the corner. It was like less than half a meter tall.
Yeah, it was super small.
Yeah, and here, if you see the new growth, we try to keep it a little bushy, and I did some cuttings out of it, and they are growing really nicely. You can make really nice homemade elderflower juice, and it's totally pink, so it's really gonna do well here. Should we show them real quick the greenhouse?
Let's do.
Before the video gets
Too crazy long. Here in the middle, we've planted a trampoline. It grows fun. Hours and hours
But
of
look
fun.
at the tepepilo, they are loving it under there.
Yeah. So we're trying to hide the trampoline by planting this super low plant. But it's beautiful. Since that.
Ah, but look at them. I know we talked about bees, but this one is actually new to the garden that I definitely want to have seeds of. It's anisiope. Also really flowers for months and months. And you can use it for cooking. If you really rub this, it's really like a, not everybody likes it, but a licorice, like a anise.
And we love licorice here in Denmark.
We do. Oh, and here, remember I told you I made maybe 100 new cuttings of cola plant?
Yeah.
They are here. So they'll go in the greenhouse, and because they look a little bit sad now, but they just need to be watered. Within a few weeks, then they will start to root actually. So that's great. Over here, it's also like I said earlier, I'm about to divide some. Don't be afraid of divide them here in autumn because it's getting more and more wet. But here's a lump of Montbretia with this flower here. Can you see it?
And our trash can from the municipality.
It's here.
Tack för det.
So you can, they will make a bulb like this. So just take a shovel or spade or whatever you have, and divide them and place them in a different area of the garden. So in here,
But we, just so you know, audience at home, we won't put all of them in the garden. We do sell a lot of plants. That's really what all this greenhouse will be full of. We do sell plants at local markets and things here in the city and in our area.
And the garden is always most of if when we are home because it's in the back of the property. But we do have open days where people can come. We have people from Holland come in and other places, Germany, and so we open the garden. They can come and see, and they can get some perennials home for their own garden.
So if you're ever in Fredericia, come on,
come and visit. So we do have like already started like digitali seeds here, and they they actually need to be repotted one by one. So it's a full-time job, but it's just our hobby.
And yet it's not a full-time job because he is a full-time gardener. So
after 12 years of being a kindergarten teacher, I wanted something else. So now I'm doing this, and I love it. So this is also a lot of seeds I've planted here.
Yeah, lots of stuff going on. Yeah, have some lavender over here. We have grapes coming in if there are any left, if our son hasn't eaten all of them.
So we did some like also native to Denmark, some different plants that will come, and we put some kind of shelves up here so it's easy to stack them on up. The Liatris is really easy to grow from seeds, so you will get a bunch of new and they will then flower next year. We do a lot of sowing here, actually all season. March, my fingers tingle to get ready to sow, and then in summer, and then it gets really hot in the greenhouse. And when we go on holiday, we just plant it out somewhere, the leftover that didn't go to other places. But then autumn is great because then you just leave them in here. It gets cooler. You don't have to water them that much, and then it's safe in here in the greenhouse in the winter. And
and the rest of our seeds are in the little work shed, which one day we'll show. Oh, that's
Sedum,
doing really well.
Sedum cuttings, they are starting to sprout.
And these are just cuttings?
This is just a snip from the mother plant, and they will be a copy of the mother. If you do seeds sometimes, which I also think is funny, they mix, they cross-pollinate and get cross-colored. I think that's cute too.
Let me show these grapes up here. We're super domestic, y'all. We make jam and jelly. I don't know if we'll film that, but if you come by, you can easily have a jar. If you trust us, we've not poisoned any neighbors, ever. Right?
No.
So yeah, I think. Oh goodness, it's hot in here.
Yeah, can we go?
Yeah. What a weird thing to say in Denmark. It's hot in here. So this is our little space. You can see it's not very big. That was the whole tour. Not very big, but it's packed with a lot of stuff. Oh, last one. This Nefophia that we bought. It's finished.
Oh no.
Or finishing. So that was another end of season sale. It has 2 more little flowers coming in there.
I think that could be your job after this. Cutting this back, I think there's coming new things.
Yeah, I haven't deadheaded that one in a while, or cut it back rather.
Yeah.
Yeah, but lots of stuff going on, all the stuff that we've added and have got going on, so pretty excited. But yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes, can you say it in Danish?
Tak fordi du kiggede med og kom og besøg os her i Stauderhaven.
Yes, so that was a good old thank you for coming and thank you for visiting our garden.